I'm going to change topics to drugs. When drugs move across the border illegally, can you speak to the ways in which that creates a more violent and less safe and destabilized environment on the border?
Yes, of course, and particularly in places where there's no wall. So there'll be stash houses on either side in those areas. RGV is one example. There's a tremendous amount of increased violence because of the criminal activity that goes hand in hand with the distribution of drugs.
So it would seem if the movement of drugs across our border contributes to violence and destabilization, we would want less of that activity occurring. I would cite an IG report on the Customs and Border Protection that says that during 2017, there were 857,888 pounds of marijuana seized. Do you have any reason to disagree with that assessment?
Yes, I don't have a reason to dispute that number.
And actually, that sounds pretty large. That's actually about the same weight as 2 Statues of Liberty. And I was surprised that that's actually a number that's down from 2005. It's actually down 336,539 pounds. And so is it accurate in your assessment that the amount of marijuana that we're seizing at the border has reduced rather significantly since 2005?
Marijuana has gone down. We do see increases in fentanyl through the mail, as you know, from China.
I'm focusing
yes,
specifically
marijuana has gone down,
on
yes.
cannabis. And that same IG report that reviewed the work of your agency concluded the decrease, and I'm quoting directly here, the decrease in marijuana seizures correlates to the decrease in demand since the legalization of marijuana in states in the U.S. Do you agree or disagree with that assessment?
I just haven't seen it, sir. So what I can tell you is other drugs have gone up.
Yeah, no, but my question is, do you, as you sit before us, do you have a basis to disagree with the Inspector General's assessment that the decrease in marijuana being seized is a consequence of state-based decisions to legalize medical cannabis?
The demand is down, the flow is down. I'm happy to look at specifically what he said.
And Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to also include in the record a Cato Institute report that says specifically state-level marijuana legalization has undercut the demand for illegal Mexican marijuana.
Without objection, be made a part of the record.
And so if smuggling drugs across the border leads to violence and instability, and if states legalizing medical cannabis reduces the demand and reduces the likelihood that illegal Mexican marijuana will come into our country, does the Department of Homeland Security have a viewpoint on whether or not the federal government ought to use our extreme powers to crush legal medical cannabis laws in our several states?
I'm happy to look at the IG report, sir, and come speak with you. Apologize, I'm just not familiar with that.
But like if you let me represent you.
We need to get drugs down.
Yeah, well, I get that we need to get drugs down, but there seems to be like disagreement, particularly among those that are on my side of the aisle, as to how to do that. Some think that state-based marijuana is a gateway drug and makes people want illicit products more, but the people who've looked at your agency, and you've got this very difficult job, are saying that if states have the ability to innovate and make legal, high-quality medical cannabis available to people, then we're not going to have as difficult a job for you and for your Border Patrol agents and for the people who live across our border. So I would ask you to contemplate that, and perhaps it's something that the department would take a more active role in going forward. I appreciate the chairman's indulgence, and I yield back.
We are a nation of immigrants, a gorgeous mosaic of people from throughout the world. We are black, we are white, we are Latino, we are Asian, we are Native American, we are Jewish, we are Muslim, we are Christian, we're young, we're old, we're gay, we're straight, we're citizens, we're dreamers. Consistent with the founding of this country, out of many, we are one. And I just want to make clear that notwithstanding whatever xenophobic behavior has been coming out of Washington over the last 2 years, our diversity is a strength, it is not a weakness, and on January 3rd, everything will change. I yield back.